Hi.
Hey.
How many of you have effective meetings? Raise your hand.
I have pretty effective meetings.
Okay, if you raise your hand, you can leave. The rest of you need to stay, all right? Today we've been talking, and I've heard a lot of the Chinese questions, and later on we have a wonderful session planned on PR and how to get members into your club. But I personally don't think that the best branding, I do not think the best branding for Toastmasters is Instagram. Thank you, Joe. We have a wonderful Instagram page. I do not think the best branding for Toastmasters is Facebook. We have 2,700 members on our Facebook group. And I do not believe the best branding for Toastmasters are amazing posters, because we've got that too. And I do not think that the best branding for Toastmasters is a YouTube channel, because we've got one too, with 1,400 videos. I believe the best branding for Toastmasters is effective meetings.
Yeah.
Because we work so hard to get people into the club. But what do they see when they come into the club? Do they see something that is running smoothly, or do they see something that is inefficient, that is not achieving the goals and the purposes of a Toastmasters club? And I asked myself a simple question. What is an effective meeting? One or two people, quickly. What's an effective meeting? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody wants to? Yes, Sterling.
Well, agenda design.
A good agenda. Anybody else?
Good time control.
Good time control. So good agendas, good time controls. I believe an effective meeting is a place where leaders are made. This is what Toastmasters is about. It's about where leaders are made. A few years ago, I went to a corporate club. One of the top corporate clubs in Taiwan, and I'm not going to say names because I don't want to get in trouble. And I went there with my young mentee, Alice Kerr. At the time, she was about 19 or 20 years old. And I went to this Toastmasters club. It was one of the best corporate clubs in Taiwan. Fantastic branding, multinational company. I went inside the meeting with Alice, and they'd been begging me for 3 or 4 months to be the general evaluator. And I said, I'm busy. And finally I said, okay, I will go. And I went to this Toastmasters club, and they had begged me to go. When I walked inside the Toastmasters club, they had a good agenda. They had a timer of some sort. They had the VPE there. The president wasn't there. And then the SIA stood up and introduced the meeting and said, let's get down to business. And when the SIA stood up and said, let's start the meeting, they said, oh, by the way, we don't have a TME today. We don't have a timer today. We don't have an hour counter today. Who wants to be the TME? My young mentee, Alice, was sitting next to me, and suddenly she felt her arm being raised by me. And my young mentee, Alice, I said to her, go do it. And she said, what? I said, go. And she jumped up there, and because she had been in the TGIF and Born and Shine systems, she ran onto the stage, and she rocked that stage all night long. And she was a great TME with zero preparation. But can you imagine me as a GE? I'm not a very nice person, seriously. And I tore that club apart. Because the thing is, we brand ourselves where leaders are made. And I go into a top corporate club, a multinational company, a company that says, come to our club where leaders are made, and you see chaos, disorganization. You see people who do not care about their club. They do not care about the performance of their club. They do not care about the service and the delivery of it. And we talk about all these people wanting to come into the club. Why would they join that? Why would they join a mess? They won't. They won't. If you want people to walk into your doors and stay, they've got to walk inside, and the very first thing they've got to do is say, wow, I want to be a part of that. That is something I want to do. And so today, that's what we're going to talk about. What is an effective meeting? An effective meeting is primarily a place where leaders are made. When you walk inside and you see a young 19 or 20-year-old Alice Kerr standing on the stage with zero preparation, delivering an amazing TME with zero preparation, and they see that and they say, that is what I want to be. That is the type of communicator, the leader I want to be. But that digs into, more importantly, what is an effective meeting? An effective meeting, is a place where we also honor the core values of Toastmasters. Let's say them together, everybody. Integrity. Respect. Service. Excellence. You need to remember this because in Toastmasters, I went to a meeting recently and the leaders didn't know this. But I believe all of you have integrity, right? Yes. All of you respect each other, right? Yes. All of you serve each other, right? Yes. Do you all pursue excellence? Yes. Only my crew said that. An effective meeting is where we honor the pursuit of excellence. Where we honor the pursuit of excellence. Everybody say that. Honor the pursuit of excellence. Honor the pursuit of excellence. That's great. Let's do that together, right? But how do we get from where we are to an effective meeting today? And this guy had a famous formula. Everyone say, E is equal to MC squared. E is equal to MC squared. So to make it easy for you, we have a formula for an effective meeting. And that formula is UP squared. UP squared. All right, we're going to divide the room into 3 groups here. We're going to do like from here, group 1, group 2, group 3, okay? We're going to see who does this the loudest, okay? Group 1, 1, 2, 3. UP squared. Terrible. Group 2, UP squared. UP squared. Top it all. Group 3, UP squared. UP squared. Middle group is the winner. Congratulations. But what the heck does UP squared mean, right? Because we know E is equal to MC squared. Energy is equal to the mass times the speed of light squared. But UP squared, the first P is for plan. You've got to have a plan. But how can you make a plan if you don't understand your goals? If you don't understand your goals, you cannot make a plan. So you first need to understand your goals, then make a plan. And once you've made the plan, you need to prepare. You need to prepare. And so we're going to look at each one of these together. UP squared. Everybody. UP squared. When you leave today, you will dream about UP squared. But this is what we're going to focus on today, is to understand, to plan, and to prepare. And first, the very first thing is understanding your club goals. My mentor is a guy called Lester Lin, and his mentor is a guy called Neil Stovacek from Taipei Metro. They are both wonderful leaders in the clubs. And they always tell me, Paul, every president needs to have a goal for the year. When I was first president of TGI from 2015 to 2016, my goal and my purpose was find the masterpiece in you. When I was the charter president of Born to Shine, it was, you're born to shine on the stage of life. So shine, shine, shine. And now, my goal for this year is excellence. Be excellence. Everyone say that. Excellence. Be excellence. It sounds like my name's Bond, James Bond, right? But it's not. It's excellence. Be excellence. Excellence. Be excellence. And everything in our club is focused on excellence this year. And Joe and I, every meeting, we sit down in a coffee shop on Monday afternoon discussing where did we do well, where did we do badly, and what can we improve. And so every meeting, we improve steadily. Everything must be excellent. If you're not excellent, you will hear it from me. Okay? I will tell my club members. And I'll probably tell you if I visit your club too. Don't worry. So the first thing we need to do is understand our club goals. Have a vision for your club. Go write it down. Something simple. What are you trying to achieve this year? And everything you plan will be focused on that. The second thing is the individual goals. When I took over TGIF this year, I asked everybody, what are your personal goals? I've blanked out some names there, but as you can see, Joseph Culpin, his speaking goal is give Chinese speeches that have richer vocabulary. And his leadership goal is to guide and encourage H1 clubs as the area H1 director. Some of our other members said speech delivery, style variety, and leadership goals. Be authentic, contagious, and influential. How can you make a plan if you don't understand the goals of your club and the goals of your individuals? I heard one of the panelists here speaking about understanding your members. But have you as leaders gone to them and said, hey, Carolyn, what is your goal this year? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I have told her, I have asked her, by the way. One of her names is somewhere there. But we did this with every single member. So we understand their goals and we make sure that they are working towards those goals steadily, step by step. So the first part of UP squared is understand. Everyone say understand. Understand. Do you understand? The second part is make a plan. And the first one is a role taker plan. We have a schedule that is 6 months out. Our club, this is a Google sheet. You can make a schedule that's 6 months out. We have an agenda full for the next 2 months. If you want to speak, you're speaking in 3 months from now. Good luck with that. And we sent this out. We didn't do it. I sent it out to everybody. I said, if you want to speak, write down your name. And you know what? My VPE, Joy became my VPE because of that. Because most VPs will sit there, please, 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 can you give me a speech? Please, 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 can you give me a speech? My speakers, you choose to speak. You join my club. You paid the money. You want to achieve your goals, so go chase it yourself. I'm not your mother. I'm not your father. Be responsible. Be responsible. And by the way, if my members are late, they will not be allowed to speak for the next 3 meetings. Because that's integrity. You make a promise to deliver a speech, and you phone your VPE at 7 o'clock on a Friday night to say, sorry, I can't come. You're a liar. You have broken your promise. If you make a promise to your VPE, keep it. Because that is the first core value of Toastmasters, integrity. Keep your promises. So you have a role taker plan, and then you have a meeting plan. This Friday's agenda, for example, this was this Friday's agenda. You come up with the agenda, and I think we all know agenda, so I'm not going to get into that. But this is tied to the previous slide, which is the role taker plan. But the most important part of all this is plan. Have an event plan. We don't do meetings, we do events. And on Friday night, our theme was video shorts. And Joe and I had the idea to make these little frames. So we went out and we asked people, where can we buy these frames? And everybody said, well, the frames it takes 3 days to make. Carolyn, my VPPR, she went and made a frame. And then on the Friday night, we took pictures of it. And then we got people to tag it, hashtag TGIF for life. So if you go type this tag into Facebook, you'll see all our pictures popping up. Branding, events, fun. So the second part of UP squared is, the first part is plan. Everyone say plan. Plan. Understand. Plan. Good. All right. And then, we've already covered that. The last one is prepare. And this is the most important part. Are your assignment takers prepared? Are they prepared? Do they know what to do? If you are a session master, and I've gone to so many clubs and say, what's next on the agenda? What's next? You've had the same agenda for 10 years and you don't know what's on the agenda. Get real. Learn your agenda. So when you walk on the stage, you say, I would like to welcome up our very first speaker, Ivy Chow. Today her speech is, I love Paul Sharpe. Oh, shesheni, what did I need? And her speech objective is a humorous speech because I'm funny. And her pathway and her evaluator. You are prepared. You're not standing there like a moron. Today, the first speaker is, and nobody can see your face. Your timer is not sitting down there. Your timer is not here saying, the first card is, the timer is prepared. Standing up there saying, when you see the green card, your minimum time requirement is up. They are prepared. They're not reading the notes. And even if they're a new member, you are their coach because you are their leader and you should be teaching them. You should then be their mother or their father because you're the mentor, right? So do they know what to do? That's a big issue in Toastmasters. I go to so many clubs where people don't know what to do. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Now, if they're speakers, and they're prepared for the speech, maybe they're not good. Maybe they're nervous. That's okay. But are the assignment takers, and I'm talking about your session masters and your timers and everybody else, are they ready to deliver their speeches? Are they ready to fulfill their assignments? The next one is arrive 10 minutes early. Arrive 10 minutes early. So many people, when I go to meetings, so many people come late to the meetings. I recently went to a meeting where the speaker comes just before they're meant to speak. If that's my club, you're off. You're off my agenda. Go away. I don't want you to speak this week. I'll find somebody else so we won't do the speech. But arrive. Tell your members, you know you have a speech coming up. Plan your time. If you're not coming, if you're going to be late, send us a message. But don't leave your VPE and everybody else panicking. All right? This is an effective meeting. Everybody is there 10 minutes before the meeting starts. So then everybody's relaxed, you're greeting the guests, and everybody feels welcome. And then, I've already spoken about this, are the session masters ready? And by the session masters, I mean the TME and the GE. Are they ready with their agendas? Do they know what they're doing? They should know what they're doing with the agenda. It shouldn't be a problem. You should memorize the speakers. You should memorize. A few years ago, we are a bilingual club, and a few years ago, I was too lazy to remember the Chinese speech and the Chinese speaker. And our president, I won't say her name, but she really cared about Chinese pronunciation. And the next day, I was a great TME that night, except for the Chinese names. I was asking other people to read it because I couldn't read it. And the next day, I got a message from our president saying, Paul, you need to do better than that. You know you're in a bilingual club. You've been in this club for 10 years now. You should not be willing to learn the Chinese names, the Chinese speech titles, and you know what? She was right. I should have been prepared. So even for me with Chinese, I have no excuse. We have so many wonderful Chinese speakers in our club, and I can see a couple of them sitting here, Lila, Eric, and Alex. If I just go up to them before the meeting and say, hey, just write down the burpa murpha for this, or teach me how to say it, they would happily do it for me. There is no excuse for a session master, even a session master like me, to not be prepared. And then a final pro tip is to prepare for our meetings. Our incredible Joseph Culpin, my VPE, he has started 1 week before because we have a full agenda 2 weeks in advance. So on the Monday or the Tuesday before the meeting, he will send out a message to all the assignment takers, say, hey, if you're free, we are going to do a Zoom call, run through the agenda, make sure you know what your roles are. Make sure you know what to do. Because yes, there are some people, it's their first time. Yes, they don't know how to be a timer or an hour counter. Yes, they don't know how to be a good TME. But Joseph Culpin is there to rescue them. An effective meeting, you do not need to have 100 people inside that meeting. You can have an effective meeting with 8 people. One of the most tragic meetings I ever went to was a meeting when I went about 9 years ago. I went to a meeting and there were only 8 people inside this meeting. And the meeting was fine. There were 2 speakers, the TME doubled up as a table topics master. Everybody got to do table topics masters. We shared the roles. But there were 2 guests, me and somebody who was in their first Toastmasters meeting of all time. The very first Toastmasters meeting. And I personally thought that the meeting was going well. I personally felt, this person is doing a pretty good job. This meeting is running well. But the DTM GE who stood up, he got up there and the timer was doing her job, timing properly, showing the boards, and the GE got up there and this is what the GE said. Hey timer, how much more time do I have? I'm tired of BSing, and he used the full foul language. I'm tired of standing up here BSing my way through this general evaluation. Is that a nice thing to say? Do you think that guest will ever come back to Toastmasters? No, they won't. Because they saw that there's no leadership. They saw that there's no excellence. You can have a meeting with 8 people, and it can still be an amazing meeting. You don't need to have 20 people to have a great meeting. The main thing is the execution. And the way we execute is simply by understanding. Everyone say understand. Understand. By planning. Planning. And by preparing. Preparing. We understand the individual goals. We understand the club goals. We plan. We plan for the whole year. We have role taker assigns at least to 2 or 3 months. And then we have an agenda for each week. And then we think, how can we make the meeting unique? Hashtag TGIF for life. Go check it out. You'll see our pictures there. And then we prepare. We make sure everybody, as leaders, we make sure everybody understands their role. And we make sure that if we are the session masters, we know our agenda. We're not messing it up. And I did want to say one more thing for the session masters. The one thing I hate when I go to a club is when we have feedback. Like today, the feedback of the theme is what brought you into Toastmasters. And what happens is some people don't send the feedback to the session master. And then the session master says, oh, just come up here and introduce. No, they lose out. They start. Our timer starts counting. As a session master, be fully prepared for your roles. And so the way we have effective meeting is a simple formula. Understand, plan, and prepare. One more time. UP squared. UP squared. Seriously? I can't hear you. UP squared. Session master.